Here's one of the latest interviews from Rock and Metal Revival. If you want to hear the whole show, go to rmrshow.com. There's music from one of my favorite bands right there, brother. That one's called Glory Hole from the new Steel Panther All You Can Eat CD.
It's a beautiful lullaby.
I know.
I sing it to my kids.
Do you?
Yeah,
they
love it.
It is. And that song, that album ended up on our top 10.
Yeah,
it did. And we are honored to have with us. We've been trying to get this guy in the show for years. We want to welcome lead vocalist of Steel Panther, Michael Starr, to the show. Welcome, Michael.
Hey, man, thanks for having me on, you guys. And, you know, I am so proud to hear that you're letting your kids listen to Glory Hole.
Yeah, they love it. They don't even ask what it's about. They think it's a little happy story. So,
well, you know what? They probably already know what it is.
Yeah,
exactly. And I guess that's the thing that I have to say, Michael, that I really enjoy about Steel Panther songs is the songs are true to life. I mean, they're just
they're real stories.
Real stories.
Yeah.
Of course they are. That's what makes Steel Panther. I don't know. I mean, people, you know, all right, let's be honest. Some of the songs are over the top and they're fun, and some people may not believe them, but all the stuff that we write about are experiences that we've had. And All You Can Eat is a compilation of experiences that we've had touring the world. Because once we put out our first record, Feel the Steel, we were pretty sheltered. We were only in L.A. and Vegas, which was killer. But our experiences have grown immensely, like traveling to Russia and Paris and France. Everywhere we've gone, we've run into some crazy things, man.
Well, I mean,
so we write about it.
I had read that in an article before. But I mean, a gangbang in an old folks' home, that's got to be a memory you'll never forget.
And who was delivering the pizzas?
Well, I was delivering the pizzas, but the funny part about that story that we didn't put in the song is it's actually about Satchel's mom, because she was at that old folks' home.
Okay.
That's how I got introduced to all those people, and I had delivered pizzas there several times prior to that, and it was cool. But then, you know, the one time I did go in there, and the reason we wrote the song is because Satchel's mom, she's still pretty hip, but she still wants to get laid, so, you know, it just ensued from that point.
You know, Michael, one of the things that I have to say, this all joking aside, is we just saw you in Madison, Wisconsin back in December, and I have to say that was one of the best rock and roll shows. And I mean that in the best sense.
Yeah, it was
a true rock and roll show.
So much fun.
I want to thank you for bringing back fun to rock and roll again.
Yeah.
You guys are welcome, and thank you so much for the compliment. It's really important to us, you know. One thing we pride ourselves on is we are not a band that is considered shoegazers. We don't stare at our shoes. We look the audience in the eye. We make them feel like they're part of the show. And the thing that's really important is I know that we have fun and we joke around a lot, but the reality is we really do love metal, and we take our crafts really seriously, take our songwriting seriously, but we have a really fun time doing it. And that's one of the things that once we figured that out for ourselves as a band, like, let's just have fun, man. That's when we got a record deal.
Yeah. When we saw you in Madison, I want to commend you on your sound guy, whoever's in charge of your sound, because I was able to take out my earplugs and go through the whole show and enjoy it without the next day regretting because it wasn't so goddamn loud that you can't tell what's going on. Your sound guy did a great job. It was amazing. It sounded great.
Thanks. Yeah, that's one thing that's important is the frequencies, man. You can't have all those. It's cool when it's loud, but when it hurts your ears, it sucks.
Yeah.
You know? I don't want to watch a show with earplugs in. It's not as fun. So if I can pull my earplugs out and the sound quality is killer and you can still feel it loud, that's when you know you've got the right sound guy. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hey, over the years, Michael, we've been watching you guys through the years on YouTube and all over, and you've had so many different guest stars get up on stage with you and play on your albums. And I know in this last one, the only guest appearance I think was Vivian Campbell. Am I right about that?
Yeah, totally. Because we recorded this record on the road. Satchel wrote most of the songs in his mom's apartment. And but then we couldn't finish it before the tour, so we took all the recording stuff with us, and he did the guitars, and I did all the vocals on the tour bus.
Wow!
So it was kind of hard to get some guest people on it because we were moving around so much. But Vivian was cool enough to just email. We emailed him an MP3 of the song. He recorded the solo, emailed it back to us. We forwarded it to our producer. He put it in the record, and the rest is history, man.
Nice. Now, when you had your residency in L.A., I can remember about every other week we were seeing another guest star get up out of the crowd and get up on stage and jam and sing with you. Who was the most fun? Who was the one that just blew you away?
There's been a lot of great people that got up and jammed with us, and they've been all memorable, but there's one that really sticks out for me. Sebastian Bach got on stage, which is totally cool. It's Sebastian Bach from Skid Row, right? But then CeeLo got up, too, as well, which was completely like, what? It's like peanut butter and chocolate mixing together. Like, what the? And then we did a rendition of Don't Stop Believing with Sebastian Bach and CeeLo singing it. And that's the one that I'll never forget. And another one I won't forget is I had a sing-off contest with Meatloaf at the Viper Room back in 2002. Never forget that one.
Now, in Scott Ian's book, he actually credits Steel Panther for getting him and Meatloaf on talking terms because, he was going out with Meatloaf's daughter and everything, and they went to the Steel Panther show and came back being best fucking buddies.
That's the show, dude.
Yeah.
That's the show I'm talking about.
Nice.
That's the show where he came to the show. Him and Scott never really got along. I guess they started drinking. The joy of heavy metal filled their hearts, and look at them now.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Well, I got a question now that you guys are touring the world. You just came back from South America. Michael, where are the best groupies?
Man, they're at every Steel Panther show. They really are. I mean, it sounds silly and like, oh, you won't pick a place to say the best chicks, but man, they really are. I mean, once you get a group of people together that are Steel Panther fans, it goes off, right? So we're in Brazil for the first time playing Sao Paulo at a festival called Monsters of Rock, and we're in our first song. It's called Pussy Whipped, and all of a sudden there's like 3 or 4 chicks just showing their tits right out of the gate.
Nice.
And I'm like, I like Brazil, man. It was easy. Like, there's some places where it takes 4 or 5 songs before you get some naked girls, but in Brazil it happens really fast.
I heard they wax there too.
They do, and they also straighten their hair with a new thing called the Brazilian straightener.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
So, you guys are coming back. You're playing the U.S. You're coming to our neck of the woods, coming to play Milwaukee. It's been a while since you guys have been here.
I don't even remember the last time we were in Milwaukee, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't either, because I would have went.
Yeah, we would have totally went. So, now this tour is cities that you missed the first time around?
Yeah, totally. And there's some repeats, too, as well, because we just been, what we do is we really stay on top of our social media, and we get a lot of requests from different cities, and promoters hit us up, so we know, like, where to go, and also where we haven't been, too, as well. Like Brazil, for instance, didn't think that anybody knew our music. So we went there. Everybody knows our music, and it's really, I wish they bought our records, too, but everyone, I guess, downloads stuff for free, so it's killer.
Them fuckers. So, any plans for the song Big Boobs to get re-recorded now from the Metal School days?
I just want you to know you're not the only one that's asked that. That is something that
I'm a fan of Big Boobs.
Oh, who isn't? Who isn't? I mean, I'm serious, man. Big boobs are killer, even on pregnant girls. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Just not guys.
Yeah, well, yeah. But you know what? That's a song that we might explore doing again because, it's like, our first record was an independent thing that we put out on our own. We recorded it in our, Satchel and I had an apartment. We recorded it there. And we printed up, like, I don't know, maybe 10,000 CDs, and we used to sell them at our shows. And I don't think that, there's a few songs on that record that nobody's really heard except for for people that really explore the band's history.
We've got
I
it.
think that might be a good song to redo.
Yeah, we've got it. We can remember the first time we had Lexi on the show, and boy, I tell you, Lexi is a lot of fun. I mean, how do you? I mean,
likes
you
to
guys,
look good.
Yeah,
he likes to look good.
Yeah,
he does a good job of it.
He was primping himself on the radio.
Of course he was. I'm sure he wasn't masturbating too.
You could hear the Aquanet in this. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Lexi's the easiest guy to be in a band with because all you have to do is give him hairspray and lip gloss, and it doesn't matter what we do. He just says yes. It's great.
Nice. So,
and he's not that smart, which is even better.
That helps. That does help. So what are the...
hey, you guys, Lexi Fox has the hugest fan base. Wherever we go, people just I think people root for him because Satchel and I beat him up pretty much on stage verbally. So people really root for him, man. It's like I introduce Lexi Fox, and the crowd goes off, and they start chanting, Lexi, Lexi, Lexi. He doesn't know what to do with it. He gets nervous and just puts more makeup on.
So what are the plans for a new album? Are we looking 2016 for that?
Absolutely. We've already started. We recorded 2 new songs before we even went on the road to Brazil. And we actually recorded a few when we were on the road with Judas Priest. And what we do is we just keep writing, keep recording, and compile as many songs as we can. So when it comes time to actually go in the studio, we have a lot to choose from. Because, every record becomes more and more important because most people think, dude, when we put out Fields of Steel, I couldn't tell you how many reviews I read that, oh, this is a one-trick pony, they're not going to make it past their first record, they suck, blah, blah, blah. Then we put out Balls Out, same thing. Oh, they'll never be able to repeat anything as half as good as Balls Out. And then we put out All You Can Eat, and here we are talking on the radio. So, yeah, we just keep recording and doing the best we can. And we're hoping to put something out in 2016. But also, the music industry is changing. So putting out a full-length record is not the most important thing in the world anymore. Maybe we'll put out an EP of 4 songs every 6 months. We don't know yet.
Very cool. I mean, we were really thankful that you put out the Christmas song when you did. I mean,
Thank you. Thank you. We also enjoyed putting out the Kanye West song. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So Michael, with all the bands that you've been on tour with, I mean, you guys have toured with some heavyweights like Priest, and who's been the coolest to go out on the road with?
Well, Priest was really cool, because they're so iconic. They're a huge band. So we're really nervous to just be in the same room with them. But, we ended up going to strip clubs with them and hanging out, and I met Rob's boyfriend. He's totally cool. He does blow. We had a really good time. But we were just in Brazil with Kiss, too, as well. We did a bunch of shows with them.
Nice.
And those guys are just, they're so cool, man. I mean, Paul Stanley came in our dressing room and just hung out with us and just talked. And I actually asked him for some advice on how to approach the audience, and he just said, all you got to do is talk slower and everything will be fine. And I was like, oh, thanks, man.
So do you find the lack of cowbell in today's metal to be a good thing or a bad thing? Because Steel Panther is good with cowbell.
We have a lot of cowbell in our new record, dude.
I know.
That's the most important thing. You're going to want to hear that cowbell, for Christ's sake.
I know.
Dude, the cowbell is heavy metal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the most metal instrument. Wait, was my timing right? I should.
Yeah, you're a little off. But
I'm always a little off.
It made Leslie West a lot of money.
Oh, dude, you sound like Lexi Fox on cowbell.
Nice.
Well, now, Michael, you're coming to Milwaukee. What can the fans expect? I mean, we don't want to tell them what we saw on the show. Why don't you give us a rundown of what fans can expect when they come out to a Steel Panther show?
I say this every tour. If you're a kind of person that doesn't like to have a good time, and you don't like to laugh, and you don't like to see naked chicks, do me a favor, don't come to our show. But if you like that stuff, and you like to have a really good time, laugh, and forget about reality for an hour and a half, come to a Steel Panther show. It's fun. I can't explain what you're going to see. You have to see it for yourself.
Amen.
It is fun.
There's really no way to explain it.
All right, well, we're going to play another track here from Steel Panther called 10 Strikes, You're Out. And you're telling us these are all kind of autobiographical. Give us a rundown of this song.
10 Strikes, You're Out is pretty basic. It basically is the blueprint for a relationship. So listen to the words, and if a girl's doing the stuff that is in the song, then you'll know what to do because the song tells you exactly what to do.
All right, Michael Starr, it's been a pleasure having you on Rock and Metal Revival.
For sure.
Thanks for having me, man.
To catch the whole show of Rock and Metal Revival, all you have to do is check it out on these affiliates. Mega Rock Radios on Saturdays from 11 a.m. Eastern Time, on Rock 101 KLOL on Saturdays 11 p.m. Eastern, on Z-Rock 106.9 KKZR Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Uncontrolled Noise Tuesdays at 1 a.m., Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Saturday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern on UncontrolledNoise.com. And make sure that you leave them a message and tell them that you found Rock and Metal Revival on their stations. Enjoy this edition of Rock and Metal Revival.